for black girl nerds.
Hi, Gina. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. What stood out to me with the not only with the film but with the comics was the shadowy nature of how the characters were drawn, and it just seemed like they were always in motion in both the comic and in the film. What were your early inspirations when you looked at the comic and how you shaped your direction of how you wanted to lead the film?
hmm Yeah, I mean, once I read the script and fell in love with the script, the first thing I did was go online and read the graphic novel because I hadn't been familiar with it. And I loved, foremost, I loved Greg's work with the characters and the story, and I loved what Leandro did with the illustrations. And as you said, on paper, it had such great movement. And, I knew with my vision, what I wanted it to be was feel really grounded and real, despite its fantastical premise of immortality. But I also knew I wanted to just throw in some homages to the work in the graphic novel, and that was absolutely my use of silhouette. Silhouette is so beautiful, and as you said, these characters live in shadow, live in the underground, the underbelly, and so I felt like that was a way to really speak to that as well.
As we got to learn more about the characters and their a little bit of their backstories were revealed, the more we realized we didn't know. When you're trying to create that unknown feeling, anticipate the feeling, what is the anatomy of kind of creating that kind of scene that makes the audience long for more?
hmm Wow. you know,
Like a little-
I feel like, I'm the first audience. And so what do I want to see? What do I want to know? And it was a lot of conversations with Greg and I, and even with Skydance, who had developed the story. How much do we reveal? How much backstory do we show? And then the reality of, we have 2 hours, how much can we show? As if you're familiar with the graphic novel, there's a lot. We get to see a lot of Nikki and Joe and their backstory, and more of Andy and Booker. And we had to be intentional of what we were going to show, and we ended up focusing on Andy's character, visually with the backstory, and then talking about the other characters. But one of the big things that Greg and I really um, expanded that wasn't in the graphic novel was really Nile, and what her story was, and where she came from, and her family, and what drove her. And that was really important to me as a filmmaker, as a Black woman. I wanted to see more of her character, and I felt she deserved it.
With Nile, as with Andy, they are involved in some really kick-ass fight scenes, very, very intense, a lot of training and conditioning. Is there how how was your approach to directing a fight scene? It's a little bit a different lane for you compared to some of your previous projects. So what was your approach to making that look as awesome as it came off?
I mean, foremost, my intention, it's women, they have to look dope. I'm an athlete. I know what looks good and what doesn't. I used to kickbox. So it started there. In addition, for me, what makes a great fight scene is that it's character driven, that it has a story to it, a beginning, middle, and end. And to be able to do that in the best way, you need the actors and not stunt doubles. And so that's very easy to say, but now I need actors who can really do that, who can step into that, be believable. We have to believe that they're warriors. We have to believe that they can fight. And that's Charlize and KiKi. They both had that innate strength, and that they were able to bring to the roles, but also the work ethic and desire to be great. It takes so much work to be that good. And for KiKi, who has never done this before, doing two-a-days for a couple months, 5 days a week, I mean, that's what it took. But again, to have the desire to be great, to know what I wanted, that I really wanted to see her in these scenes, that, I thought that made the difference.
Yes, it definitely did. I enjoyed it greatly. Thank you for your time, Gina. I appreciate you and have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.